Hey, Tamago here. Welcome to a brand new series on Automation Nation, a Modpack about, well, automating stuff and connecting different factories and whatnot with trains and some other modes of transport. So it is a tech-heavy pack, and I'm starting off with the home screen here because just look at this. We have a custom home screen with a nice welcome message, the very creative logo, and splash text down here. Okay, let's get this started, shall we? Just leave everything default. All right, so we already have a village right off the bat here. We're on an island, it seems like. There you go. There's one of the signs that points to a village. For a full list of features, the Modpack page does explain this Modpack very well. It's quite long, so you can give it a read. But we can see that we already start off with stone tools. We have fast leaf decay. It's about reducing the grind, really. So it's a good look. I do not like grind, or more like I just don't have time for it. But you can see these are signs from supplementaries indicating the nearby villages. All right, let's take a look at the quest book, shall we? It does have a bit of a story, I believe. Welcome to Automation Nation, engineer. Let's start off with a simple training exercise you may have been seen before. Go ahead and gather 32 logs for me. Don't worry, I promise this isn't a boring tutorial. Besides, you'll need to complete this onboarding tutorial to unlock the other quests. Okay. So, unfortunately, we spawned on an island with not too many trees. But yeah, let's hopefully get this done nice and quickly. All right, there's a swamp right next to the village, which is nice. There are many more trees here, so hopefully we'll be able to get it done quickly. And I also forgot to mention we are on 1.16.5, I believe. So an older version of Minecraft. It is indeed an older pack. I had played this in the past before, and I never really gotten that far, but it is an interesting concept, so I felt like I wanted to revisit it. It's aligned with this channel's thing with connecting the world with rails. All right, I think this is the last three we will chop or get the reward. There you go, or the quest. And I see some rice over here from Farmer's Delight, which will be useful for the future. All right, let's give it a read, shall we? Next up is some stone. And it tells us that there is the grave key. So we can use vein mining over here. Because we are in a version before the cave update, we have the old caves. Look at this floating house over here. So yeah, we have these old style caves. Pretty good throwback to the past. And there you go. That is how to vein mine. Very, very nice and quick. I forgot that existed. Probably should have used it for the wood earlier. Okay. And it's just asking us to walk around. So we've already done that apparently. And this teaches us more about FTV Ultimine, which is the vein miner version in this pack. You can change the shape you are mining in by using the scroll wheel. We also have to hold shift. There you go. All right. And now it also tells us about Zero's minimap, which allows us to make waypoints so we don't get lost. And I don't know how to open the map fully, but yeah, there you go. I think clicking U gives you a list of the waypoints in the world. So let's just quickly do that for this village here. And the next thing we are to do is to get some furnishing, basically. Let's quickly grab a chest. Actually, it wants 4 chests. There you go. It also wants 2 furnaces, 1 door, as well as some torches. Fortunately, this cave does have a bit of coal. And we can vein mine it to get it nice and quickly. There you go. And that should be the quest completed. And our engineer's toolbox as a reward. And here it just introduces us to the carry-on mod. I had something similar in Railing, where you could just move chests around and other tile entities, block entities. I forgot what they're called. There you go, with the shift right click. Pretty cool. All right, the cave does go down there, which is good to know if we ever need it. Next up, it's teaching us how to use the inventory thing we have over here. I'm not sure which mod exactly this is, but it wants us to make a growth analyzer, which is some torches, or a torch and 2 seeds, along with a piece of dirt and 1 stick. There you go. And over here, the reason why we need this growth analyzer is because it tells us what can grow in this particular biome that we are in. And yeah, there you go. And apparently wheat grows everywhere, so that's good to know. I guess that's where the transport comes in. Yeah, here it is. It is just enough items in this mod pack, so it's just giving us some additional tips on what we can do with it. And this one speeds up random tick speed. I personally will not turn this on. I'll leave it be because I do want to play the normal way. Let's quickly sleep away the night. Next up is to make a lunch bag. This is from the Slice of Life Potato Edition, so we need to use some paper. Fortunately, we did get that paper specifically as a Crest Award, so that will be enough. And we get our food book over here to keep track of our nutrition, I believe. And this is the Slice of Life Edition that doesn't punish us, but rewards us for having a diverse diet, which is quite nice. And this teaches us how to use the lunch bag, which is just to shift right click it to open it, put items in, and it'll randomly, well, it'll try to optimize our diet basically by making it diverse. And there's also the lunch box and the golden lunch box for more different types of foods in there. And the next thing is it's trying to teach us about the gravestones in this Modpack, I believe. So it wants us to, take some damage. There you go. And it spawns in a gravestone right where we die over there. And our obituary is what it's called. That's where we die. So that's quite nice. You don't have to take screenshots and whatnot with our F3 open. Okay. I think you shift right click this. No, we don't. Right click this. No. Okay. We just break it to get our stuff back like we originally have. Okay. And over here, it's just telling us about the gravestones. And specifically, if we open the journey map menu, CO, I think, we can always get rid of this thing over here so that, there you go, some buttons so that we don't clog up our space with too many waypoints. And over here we have a bypass option for this death quest, just in case you're playing hardcore. And over here it's telling us about a chunk loader and giving us one for free. Basically this will keep one chunk loaded, keeping stuff like growing and whatnot running even while we are away. And it was telling us that there are other chunk loaders that are more powerful, or more chunks, as you can see. All the way up to 7x7, it seems like. And next up is to get some of these ingots, and that's telling us that we can use our chunk loader to explore while waiting for all of that to smelt. So far, I've only seen iron, not copper yet. And I'm wondering if JI will tell us where these spawn in. Let's take a look. So we have our copper ore. Okay, no, it doesn't really tell us. Okay, well, hopefully we will find some in these caves. All right, here's some copper from Create. Whoop. Oh, that is a very big vein. Okay. All right, and that is just enough iron. Engineer's toolbox coming in handy over here. I have a feeling we might be a bit too deep to find some copper. It feels like something that should be found at higher levels. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more for me to get when I come back here because I don't have an iron pick yet. All right, finally, after some strip mining, we find a cave with some copper. That should give us the 30 copper that we need. Or 32, sorry. Okay, let's get out of here before I die. Because those mobs are quite a close call. All right, I've placed the chunk holder down. Our ingots are cooking. Let's explore the world for now, I guess, as instructed. And yes, I changed the keybinds so that I could open the world map over here by clicking M. We are surrounded by ocean, so let us make a boat, as well as put some stuff away. All right, here's a boat. Let's go exploring. Some carrots over here along the way. Okay. I also like to unlock my mini-map north, but that's just a personal preference. And if we click on tab, we can see there's some of the icons over there. Okay, let's take a look what the swamp can grow. We can grow beetroots, oak trees, and rice crops. Okay, good to know. Rice is actually not so bad type of food from Farmer's Delight. And can we grow anything in the ocean? It would be funny to check. Let's try to right-click the gravel or something on the ground. Melon stem and sugarcane. Okay. Oh, and look at this. We have some huge cliffs over here. So some kind of mountainous biome. Sunshore sugarcane. Okay. Mountains, cabbage, and potatoes. Okay, cool. We do have potatoes, or at least one, from a zombie that I killed earlier. Beach, melon stem, sugarcane, tomatoes. Okay. All right, and we have a pretty big forest all the way down here. I thought this island was going to end, but it seems like it will continue on for a while. And look, we have some cabbage. All right, so we could plant it in the mountainous biomes we found before. And inside of a forest, we can... Oh, that's a lot of things. Beetroot, birch sapling, oak sapling, onions, potatoes, and flax. And over here, we have a dark oak village. Let me just quickly check the river. Okay, it's still melon stem and sugarcane. And what about inside of here? It's mostly similar to the other forest, so it's good to know. Oh, we have onions as well over here. All right, the sun is setting now, so we should probably head home as quickly as possible. Okay, and there is our copper and our iron done, 32 of each. And here it's telling us what use the chunk loaders are, specifically to keep things running and even to get transport working in the nether portals and whatnot. And here is where the lore starts to come in. Apparently it costs us $100,000. It costs them that much money to send us into this new world. So we need to somehow pay this off. And we can start with these crystals over here called raritanium, which I think we've seen a couple of them when we were mining down there. And I guess before heading down there, let's just grab some gear here so we don't die, as well as a shield. All right, looking pretty good. Now with this, we can mine some of this aluminum, I believe, or zinc. This one is aluminum, I believe. Or no, that's lead. How many times am I getting this wrong? Some gold over here. All right, and there is our first raritanium. Hello, skeleton. And this is mineable with a regular stone pickaxe, actually. Oh, those are not ores. Those are creepers. Whoops. Okay. And there is a geode here. I don't know what use this is for us now. Oh, we'll see in the future. Oh, there's a witch there. That's horrible. Okay, we might actually die now. This is not good. There you go. Of course, as I usually say, it is not a Tamagorios episode without a death. Especially the first one. Especially the first one. All right, we're back to business. All right, here's a bit more. And there you go. That is enough for the quest. We'll probably get some more in the future. All right, and this is an introduction to Kalame's Utils, which adds a currency system. We can buy stuff and sell stuff in the market and eventually pay off our debt as well and buy some fun stuff if we wish. And we are supposed to make some furniture to ease off our stress of knowing that we have a huge debt on us to pay off. So we need some sand. Let's just quickly gather that. All right, let's make some shelves. I think they use some lamps if I'm mistaken. Here you go. Clock, which needs some gold, and oh, we are missing one. Let's head back to the mines. While we are here, we also need some redstone, so let's gather that. Oh, here's some gold. All right, the glass is done smelting. Let us make the jar. All right, the gold is ready. We can make a clock over here. And I guess you could make a gear as well. And here comes the clock block. Oh, that rhymes. Let me place the item shelves over here maybe for now. I'm not sure how this is supposed to work. Oh, okay, right. And the jar was for some milk, was it? I don't remember what this was for. Oh yeah, there you go. Jars hold liquids. Cool. And supplementaries has just a bunch of these useful items that we can make. All right, and here is our first step into create, which is to create some andesite alloys using andesite and iron nuggets. It says that the author of the Modpack has to go now with the tutorials, but that is already plenty that you have taught us today. I probably should have gathered some andesite while I was down there. Got to create it was a thing. Fortunately, we have plenty right over here. And if we just take a bit of our iron, we can make our first andesite alloys. Awesome. And there you go. It just tells us what create can do. A bunch of automation and moving stuff around like in factories. And there you go. That is the end of the first chapter. And on to the Modpack or more things. And there you go. It unlocks everything else. Now it does say that it does have some custom crafting recipes to make things interesting. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, I would say that's a good introduction to the pack. It got us up and running and we are ready to tackle whatever else the Modpack has to offer us. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of a new series. I know it's not Railing Season 2, but hopefully this will do fine for now because I don't have enough time for that at the moment. Have a good rest of your day and as always, God bless.